Yeah, in this video, I'm going to talk about the one decision I made that changed my dating life forever. How did it change my dating life forever? Pretty much this little decision, it boiled down to who I am right now. Like this little pivot point, it changed everything for me. But basically I'll get into the parameters of what I'm going to talk about in this video. It was my transformation socially. It gave me, this decision got me to where I am today. Actually starting a business, trying to coach other guys. This is going on YouTube. I have like no views on any of my videos right now, but this is where I am now, and it all started from this one decision, which I'm going to go into right now. And so this decision, it got me from no social skills, no confidence with girls, dating life sucked, I'd never dated a girl, I was still a virgin when I made this decision, to now I've dated many girls, had awesome relationships, and I have the confidence to approach any girl I want and have a good conversation, and it's going to go pretty well. Okay, so in this video I want to go into detail on that exact decision I made, and really I'm making this video because I want to inspire you and motivate you to perhaps make this decision as well, and then we can all blossom together. That was a bit cringe. Okay, so pretty much when I was younger I had a lot of social anxiety. I don't know what happened, but I think it was in like primary school. Something happened, I suppose, and it kind of segregated me from the other guys in my year level. And I felt it triggering or uncomfortable to talk to them. I couldn't socialize with them very well. There was some sort of segregation, like separation between me and them. I suppose I got in my head, and then like that kept happening throughout the years, and it kind of ingrained in my mind that I'm not cool or I'm not good enough or whatever, I'm unworthy, I don't know. And I kept this to myself. I didn't tell my parents about this and the other people. It was kind of just the way it was. And you know, when you're in primary school, you don't talk about your feelings or anything like that. People are just, you know, playing with toys, and it's very surface level. But then, yeah, I went on into high school, and it got a bit worse because people start getting bit mean, you know, little boys turn into big boys and start attacking each other. Not attacking, but like verbally there's more aggression, you know, you're getting older. And so, yeah, I got verbally bullied a little bit, just mildly. It wasn't like anything physical, really. It was just verbally. Just little things, like I remember a kid it was like in year 7, like first day, even before the year started, you know, we went into class to meet everyone else and meet our teachers and have a tour of the school. And like the first day, I remember sitting on this, I was standing, like we had to stand before we sat down. I don't know, it's just this tour thing, it doesn't really matter, too much detail. But yeah, there was a kid next to me on my left and on my right, and the guy on my right, he threw a bit of like glad wrap on my desk, and I looked down and I'm like, oh, okay. And then the guy on my left, he started laughing, he was like, that's funny. And I look back now, and these guys were like, they were more, in terms of hierarchy, they were more the alpha, you know, the leader, I wouldn't say leader, because leader's a nice thing. I wouldn't consider them a leader, because really they're not doing that well now, if I'm honest. But they were more alpha, more confident, but kind of that slimy confidence, you know? Yeah, and yeah, later in like first few days, I got put next to them for the rest of the year, or at least the first few months. Then we might have changed seats, I don't really remember. But yeah, then, you know, the same guy who threw the bit of rubbish on my desk, and I did nothing about it, I didn't know what to do, I had no confidence, I was just like, oh, okay, that's funny, right? And then he would, another time he told me, tie my shoelaces. And I did it, I went up and I think I tied his shoelaces. Yeah, it was crazy. I was just so wimpy and just submissive. It was horrible. But that was bad. And later on, like towards the end of my high school, I had some sort of moral. I didn't do that sort of shit anymore, but it was messed up. But that ruined my confidence. Like I consider myself so low to like do these things for people. I was a nice guy. I was pleasing him. That's what it was. But I didn't know any of that stuff at the time. But anyway, yeah, high school, never dated anyone, except for this one girl, but I wouldn't really count it as dating. It was more this weird relationship thing. It was like online, but she friend zoned me like 7 times in a row. over a year, she friend zoned me like 7 times. It was just like we're texting, right? And then she would come out and say like, I love you. And then I'd be like, oh my God, I love you too. And I was just like waiting for her to do something because I wouldn't do it. That's how like bad I was. And then it would last like a week, and then she'd be like, oh, I don't know about this anymore. Then it'd kind of end. And then we'd text each other for months, and I'd be waiting until it happened again, and let alone like I got friend zoned again. And that would happen like 7 times. I tell this story to a lot of people, and they're like, well, what? How can you get friend zoned 7 times? It wasn't like, you know, meeting them up in person and getting friend zoned. It was more just this stupid text relationship thing that I think people have when they're younger. But yeah, ruined my confidence as well. I knew I wasn't not much worth to me if I'm getting friend zoned that many times. But she was pretty, she was cool, like, yeah, she was cool at least. I think maybe she's attracted to me because I was like, I didn't express my feelings or anything like that, or we didn't come onto her, or maybe I was like in her mind acting ambiguous, and that made her attracted to me. I don't really know, but I speculate that because as soon as it went well, like I would, you know, confess all my feelings and be like, oh my God, I was waiting for this, and and then she'd be like, I get in my mind, she was probably like, what the hell, like I thought this guy was just playing hard to get, but no, he really liked me, but he couldn't tell me because he has no confidence. But anyway, yeah, and then uni, still had no confidence, hard to socialise with anyone in my classes. And then, yeah, second year uni, I met this girl at a family friends party. I think I'm going on too much, but I'm going to get to the decision in just a second. This is the last little story. This is the catalyst. And she was flirting with me, and I was there with my like best mate, and he was like looking at me like, what the hell? And I was like, I know, what's going on? Like, we didn't say anything, but yeah, this girl was flirting with me, and I went in the garage with her. It was like a family friends party. My parents were there. So that was kind of weird, but yeah, in the garage I was like sitting down, and she was like sitting down, and she was like, her foot was on my leg, and she was like rubbing my leg with her foot, and it was good, but I didn't look at her. It was like too awkward for me. I was like, this is amazing, oh my God, I never want this to end. But yeah, eventually it did. I went home. Yeah, and then I started texting her. I texted her like that night. I was like, hello, I don't remember what I said. But anyway, and she replied, and we started talking, and I would talk to her so much every single night. I would talk to her, right? And I completely killed the attraction because I was just giving her my life story. I didn't know how girls worked. I thought I had to tell her everything, just keep talking to her, and eventually she'll like me, but not the case. That just made it worse. It just killed the attraction even more. So a week later, I asked her out. I built up the confidence to finally ask her out. I had this amazing idea of going on a double date with her, but she was like, nah. I don't remember what she said, but she said no. And I was like, what the hell? What? Because in my mind, she liked me. I just thought girls either like you or they don't. So I was like, girls either like you or they don't. And she liked me. She was like rubbing my leg. She was flirting with me. And she was texting me all the time. Yeah, but in that week, she slowly texted me less and less. Yeah, and then it died, right? Yeah, so then I kind of looked online. I was like, no, I think that went on for like a few weeks. And no, sorry, I don't remember exactly what happened, but I think I looked up online. I was like alpha versus, what makes a guy attractive? And then what came up was alpha versus beta. And what under alpha it said like someone who's dominant, confident, a leader, you know, he's got his life together, he's on his purpose, all these things. I was like, wow, if I just be those things, that's attractive. And then, you know, beta was like submissive, this nice guy, people pleaser, just like, you know, not a leader in any sort of way, just like kind of, you know, just lounging around, just not really doing anything. And that was what I was. So I was like, all right, I want to be this alpha. But that wasn't what changed everything for me just yet. Now I was trying to be this cool guy, okay? And I ended up seeing her, I think months later. She messaged me and then we met up. Yeah, but I started watching these videos on how to dating dynamics and no contact rule and all these things and how to trigger attraction. I was learning, but I was still, this guy that I was learning from, his name was Coach Corey Wayne. But I was taking, he always say things like, yeah, but you got to be on your purpose, and you got to be thinking abundantly, you got to be talking to other girls. But I was like, nah, screw all that, I just want to get this girl. And that was probably my problem, okay? So I was fixated on this one girl and the dynamics at play and tried to figure that out. But I think I got friend zoned again by her. Yeah, because I was too in my head. I was still too in my head. Hadn't had enough experience. Didn't have abundance mindsets. I was still so fixated on making this work. I wasn't indifferent at all. Okay, so that killed it. And then I was like all wimpy, like, and then I came across this video. It just popped up on YouTube, and it was like just this ugly. Well, I say isn't. I think he's decently good looking, but I say ugly because he kind of was. He's like short, bald, redheaded, ginger guy, and he wasn't in shape really at all. For some of you who know me and go out with me, you might know him, RST Tyler, Owen Cook. He's the owner of Real Social Dynamics now. He's like owns the biggest dating company in the world. Earns like over eight figures in his business. He's huge now. Even back then when I started watching him, he was like pretty big, I think. But anyway, yeah, he was like picking up these girls, and I was like, what the hell? And he had this story that he was like just like me, who had you know, sucked with women all his life. But he talked about these mindsets of future and happiness and purpose and abundance and picking up and going out all the time and work on their social skills. And I just started binging all his videos. But alright, sorry, I regrets. Before I started watching all his videos, as soon as I heard his story, when he was younger, he didn't have any of those skills. He had like depression and like mild autism. I was like, oh damn, okay. I just like dug myself in a hole, because I kind of realized this guy went from horrible, like just no social skills, depression, to killing it with girls. Because in the video I watched that triggered this decision, he was like picking up a girl, like she was a model, and there was some awesome party. He's like, yeah, no pool, and I was like blown away. And his story was just kind of like mine, and I was like, damn, and in that moment I realized I saw myself in that moment either deciding I can commit the best I can and completely fix this and like shoot for the stars and max out my social skills, become like God amongst women, and just do whatever he did and learn and just go out and just work on my confidence like crazy. Or I could pretend I never watched this video and continue my life as it is. I'll probably suck at dating and meet someone that's mediocre, and you know, never have any sort of purpose, because I was just studying engineering. I wasn't really enjoying it. I didn't have anything. I was just coping. I was just playing video games all the time, and I was just derping, right? So in that moment I was like, I have to make a decision, okay? And ultimately I had all these fears. I was like, what if it doesn't work? What if I commit to this journey but I don't make it? And what if I for a few weeks I do this and then I fail? I had all these fears, but it all boiled down to this moment, and I had to make a decision. I could either forget it, I ever watched this video. I think a lot of people do that. It's called so you go, most people, I think we live in a world that everyone's just derping, and they're mainly unconscious, like in this derp state, sleeping, and people pretend everything's fine, but really it's not. It's not even just with dating, but usually it's like either with career or people just binging video games. Not many people have a purpose, and they're doing something that they really enjoy. Or even, I'm even talking about like a higher purpose, like a mission, like, you know, being the best they can and conquering the world and sharing what they learn and becoming some sort of hero, you know, some sort of legend. Not many people have those big aspirations, and just coping. Even for a lot of people, just going to the gym is like a big decision that's going to change their life, and they won't do it. They'll just continue to do whatever they're doing, you know, go to uni and just let someone dictate. You know, they'll live someone else's dream. That people don't think for themselves. Modern society is only 100 years old, right? So that says a lot. If modern society is only 100 years old, how do you know all these people, your parents, everyone is telling you exactly like the perfect thing to do? They don't know. They don't know shit. You got to think for yourself. So that's what I was kind of realizing when I watched this video. So in that moment, I made the decision and I committed to greatness. I did this for girls. Girls was actually, no, I went to the gym for a couple of years before this, and that grew my confidence a bit because I had something, I had a bit of muscle, but it didn't get me any girls. I was still a virgin the whole time I went to the gym. Went to the gym for 2 years, didn't make a difference, didn't matter. So yeah, this decision, I decided I'm going to commit to self-actualizing in terms of dating. But this is the difference between me and a lot of other guys. I think other guys, I realize this now, I couldn't really see it before, because I was just kind of confused. Like when I'd be out with other guys, they'd have these goals of like wanting a relationship or just wanting the result or wanting to get laid. And I'm like, wait, is that your goal? My goal is like, I want to be the best socially. I want to be able to get, you know, almost any girl. Like I want to have the ability to just walk into a bar and get any girl. But it was more so happiness. I didn't so much do this because I wanted the girls. It was more about happiness, okay? And even now, it's like, I started running a couple of weeks ago. I ran like every day for a week, not because I enjoy running. Running sucks, I hate it. But I did it because I wanted to train my mind. I wanted to fulfill my mind and become someone, okay? So this dating thing, like this journey I went on, it was a journey of self-actualization, a journey of ultimate happiness, a journey of like finding some higher purpose and meaning, right? Yeah, but again, that can be a problem because that's almost like your teachers become women, and when you're like when you're trying to be the best with girls, and this is what was happening for me for the longest time, and I can see it with other guys now. When you try to become really good with girls, it's like the measuring stick of how good you are is women. So you're dependent on their validation of who you are. I suppose I'm going on a bit of a tangent here, but what I'm saying is you don't want women to be your ultimate purpose, because if they are, you'll always be in reaction to women. You actually want your ultimate purpose to be happiness or a higher purpose, right? Or your career or whatever, right? You see what I'm saying? It's like as soon as you make women your purpose, you become in reaction to them. But I think in the beginning, it's too much detail. But for me, I just wanted to get good with girls. At the same time, I wanted happiness. But I didn't do it just for the girls. I did it for happiness. And that was the difference between me and a lot of other people. This journey I'm on, if there was something else that would make me happier than girls, tell me what it is and I'll do it, right? I wasn't like dependent on getting the girl and getting the relationship. It wasn't like that. I was like, I just wanted the happiness, and that was the mindsets. I started binge watching like hours and hours of this guy's seminars, and he was saying like it's more he was mixing dating and consciousness, like almost like spirituality in a sense, but not so much spirituality, more in a sense of just reaching ultimate levels of happiness. Because if you think about this, right, if you could be happy alone and never date a girl the rest of your life and be single, and you could be happier than you ever would be dating a girl, like, why wouldn't you take being happier but alone for the rest of your life? I would. It's like, if I could, you know the point I'm making? Like, I think that's what a lot of guys don't understand. They think accumulating the things, the girls, or all that will make them happy. It won't. That's not, in my mind, it's not what it's about. It's about reaching self-actualization. I believe that life could be amazing, okay? A lot of the people I hang around with, like my parents, like I hear my mum complaining a lot. She's always complaining about politics and stuff, right? She's like, oh yeah, Trump it is, and then, oh yeah, I just want to make the world greater. I need to, talking about her Twitter followers, and oh, I need more Twitter followers, and she's always just on Twitter and then smoking like, oh, Twitter. But where was I going with my mum? I don't even remember. But I think, yeah, a lot of people are just unconscious, and there's no high. I think if you could be happy, the law of state transference says when you're happy, other people feel happy too, okay? So the way I can explain this is, why am I talking about this? I don't know. If say you're pissed off and then someone hugs you, it's like, you're going to be like, go away, like stop, get away from me, stop hugging me, okay? Because you want to share that negative energy. And same with happiness. When you're super happy, you want to share the happiness, right? So say if you're at this point, this peak where you're like so happy, you don't care if you date a girl or not, like, of course, you just want to spread happiness. So it's like, you'll date a girl, you'll make, because you know, like, it'll be of her value to hang around you because you can offer her something, happiness. Or same with anyone you hang around with, or same with your career. You want to do something that offers value. So that was my goal. I wanted to be that person. I wanted to be someone that gives value and people, not so much, maybe looks up to. That's my ego, I suppose. I'm thinking someone that people look up to. That's my ego wanting the validation. So I still got to let go of that. I'm still on my journey, but there's paradigms to it. But yeah, that's what I suppose the point of this video is to commit to the journey of self-actualization and reaching this ultimate bliss state. If that's even possible. Yes, it is. Come on. I think there's more to life than just binging Netflix and wasting time, right? I think there's a lot more, and the shit I've experienced, like, I think it gets pretty crazy. Just reading books. Just read books, man. If you listen to all your friends, 90% of people are just derping, okay? You go to school, 90% of that year level, probably even more, are just derping. They don't know what they're talking about. And no one reads books. You know, if you're watching this, how many of your friends have read books? No one. But books have the leading edge information of these answers that we have. Like, I read books on attraction, on spirituality, on, I was going to say business, but I've got mentors on business. I've also got mentors in dating as well. And you learn so much and your mind expands and you get closer to those goals. But, you know, in school and your friends, hey mate, you want to go for a drink on Friday or go to a bar? Like, it's the same old thing. They're not thinking outside their box, so you want to think outside your box too. I believe, like, in terms of dating, when you're at that peak state, dating becomes so easy because you're not fixated on it like you were, and that's what changed my dating life. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, when you don't need it, you get it. When you're happy and you're fulfilled, you can have what you want, pretty much. Like, you have to work for it, I'm sure, but it's a different relationship to it. Instead of fixating, like, needing it, this will make me happy. Because I was holding so much, like, negative energy when I was younger. And to escape that negative energy, I was, like, fixated on the relationship or dating or whatever it was. But now it's like, I'm okay. Relationship or not, I'm chill. I want to date, of course. I do date, but it's like, it's not because I need to, it's just because it's fun, right? And when I'm not fixated on it, also, you think you have to learn all these techniques and methods and things, but the reality is, if you're really, really happy, if you're in a content space, a content state of mind, it's not like you need all these techniques because your vibe is just so fresh and people just go, wow, who is this person? You see what I'm saying? So, yeah, and you think you need the techniques to be attractive. When you're happy and content and on your, this is easier said than done, okay? Commit to the journey, start with the techniques, just go. Whatever it is, use the lines. That's what I started doing, and it's fine. You open new doors as you go, but you want to reach that state of, like, full contentment, and it's so possible. It's so much easier than you think. Like, when you're starting, you're like, oh my god, it's so crazy. Like, where do I go? You just start opening the doors, just start learning. I was binge watching YouTube all the time. I was, like, looking for all the answers. The problem was I was watching, like, mainstream dating advice, which is another problem, because when you look at pickup advice, it's very technical. Here's the technique, so here's how you get the result. But it doesn't really offer deep transformation, which is what I wanted. So I had to start looking outside the box and started looking to energy work and how I can let go of this negative energy to become more fulfilled and happy. You think a purpose and a career will make you happy. To some degree it will, but really, like, think about birds and, like, animals and bugs. Like, they don't have a purpose, they don't have some career, like some 9-to-5 job they have to go to. Like, imagine bugs and birds doing that shit. Like, they don't. Why, we're an animal, we're just like them. Why do we have to have a career? It doesn't make sense, right? We've got to stop looking to the external to complete ourselves. What I found now is, at the same time, it's like a paradox, because it's like, I don't want to tell you to forget about it, because you'd be like, oh yeah, I'm already doing that, okay, cool. You want to commit, just commit to something. Try and figure something out. Try and figure out the dating thing or career, whatever it is, or ultimate bliss, figure out happiness. But you don't have to have everything outside aligned to be happy. You have to, happiness comes from within. Clear out your energy system, and what flows in, what replaces the negative energy, the denseness, is positive and more fulfilling, high vibrational energy, right? And when you're feeling that, you naturally want to give. You naturally want a career where you can help other people. I feel like kind of like what I'm doing now. I feel inspired to start this business and be a dating coach because it's like I want to help others too. When you're feeling that way and when you're feeling more purposeful and you feel good and you feel more happy and content, you want to give it to people. So that inspiration comes. But you have to commit to the journey of like reaching this state and like working on your social skills and going out. I went out 3 to 6 nights a week. I just want to put that in there because that's a big thing. It was a journey for me. I didn't get here overnight. Like, and another thing, mentors is great. Find someone who's where you want to be. Yeah, but there are a lot of, but also analyze people, how they look. If they look kind of like they're telling you advice, like, yeah, just go over there. Here's the technique, like you want to do this, and they're kind of looking scummy, or you know, maybe even in their face, if they've got like heaps of, if they're pimply, if their eyes are kind of like derpy like that, you can kind of tell straight away where they are at in terms of their energy. So you want to look for people who are like bright and trust those people and listen to them. Yeah, I think I'm going on too much here, but the decision was commit to ultimate success with women, become God amongst women, but then that opened the door to trying to find happiness within, because I realized if the women are my teacher, that's a problem because I have to transcend that and find a higher purpose, happy within, and then, you know, that purpose is found, then you're not in so much reaction to girls because you found the higher purpose, right? So good luck. I wish you luck. This is a long video, I apologise, but thank you, goodbye. Oh, and videos. I have to wait 20 seconds apparently. That's how long these videos last around here for.